Sometimes your life won't turn out how you plan it.
A man in Louisiana has been sentenced to 13 years in prison for having possession of the equivalent of 2 joints worth of marijuana.
It turns out how you work for it. How you wake up and you chase that dream every single morning.
Now, the person here is Bernard Noble, and he has absolutely no chance of parole.
It's what you give your time and your energy to.
And even though recently Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal signed into law legislation that would basically lessen the sentences for nonviolent drug offenders, it turns out that it doesn't apply to Noble because of the fact that he hasn't served 10 years in prison yet.
You see, I witnessed the death of my mother, the death of my grandfather, the incarceration of my father. And still I stood. Because when I walked in those projects, I realized one thing. I realized this, that my dream never lived down there.
Now, the State Board of Pardons and Parole rejected Noble's petition for clemency in May simply because he hasn't served 10 years or more in prison yet. State law requires inmates to have been in custody of the Department of Corrections for a minimum of 10 years before they'll consider an inmate's application for clemency.
I realized that everything I ever dreamed of lives in the sky, and I must jump every single day to go reclaim what's mine.
So fate Vincent Winslow. While Winslow was homeless and hungry, he sold $20 worth of weed. He was given life without the possibility of parole.
Luke was sentenced to 21 years and 10 months, and Ricardo got 20 years. With appeals denied, they both were sent to federal prisons to do hard time for selling medical marijuana.
You see, many of us believe that just because our father was a drug dealer and our uncle was a drug dealer, that is our life and that is our forever. But I want you to know something. That is only a lesson to show us to be something more than what they thought we can be. You see, when a family tree is dying, all you have to do is take care of the roots.
Being a father in prison is extremely difficult. She's my inspiration. She's everything to me.
And if the roots is too dead to bring the tree back alive, you plant another one.
She's there for me. She goes out and advocates for me, and you know, I love her so much, and I can see how much my incarceration takes a toll on her, and it's just heartbreaking to me.
Young king and queen, I'm sorry, but we live in a generation today where you're gonna have to grow up right now.
In the article, they go on to explain how over 3,500 people in America are locked up for life because of nonviolent crimes.
They say, well, why you want to be great? I don't want to be great for me. I want to be great so them project babies can look in the mirror and say, I am too. I am special. That flower grew in the same streets that I grew up in. That rose up through that concrete, and so can I.
You've been variously described as a businessman, a hip-hop artist, and by the government as a drug dealer. Which of the above apply to you?
I'm a hip-hop artist first, because that's what I've always been. And I'm a businessman second, but I'm not a drug dealer.
But you're in the drug business, correct?
Correct.
He was originally sentenced to 5 years in prison, but that wasn't enough for prosecutors. They actually fought to make the sentence longer, and he ended up with 13 years behind bars.
You're gonna have to be phenomenal in everything you do because everyone in the world is chasing greatness. And what do you do when a man is going 100 miles per hour and you haven't even started the engine yet? The best gifts come from the bottom. They say, well, why you want to be great? I don't want to be great for me. I want to be great so them project babies can look in the mirror and say, I am too. I am special. That flower grew in the same streets that I grew up in. That rose up through that concrete, and so can I. It's a mentality. Roses can grow in the projects if you take care of the soil. It don't matter how big the house is, baby. It's the love inside of it. Take care of your community. Take care of your brothers and sisters. Hold cowards accountable for what they put in your neighborhoods. Put your crown back on your head. Let the world know your name. King and queen.